There we go. Okay, so just a brief overview of the moderators of this group. It is moderated by Angie Snow at ServiceTitan, Brittany Burgess at ServiceTitan, and then myself, Krista at Gulf Shore Air. So I am the oddball out as the contractor here in the group, but Brittany and Angie both come from the contracting side as well before they moved to ServiceTitan. So really, really happy to have them allow me in here to educate y'all and bring more information and outside sources than just what ServiceTitan provides. So really, really thankful to have this opportunity. Our agenda for today is, of course, what's upcoming, ServiceTitan events, and then we're going to be going over the dispatcher's edge, how stronger communication creates smoother days. We'll be doing some questions and then some wrap up. First off, I just want to introduce myself. My name is Krista, and I am the marketing and IT manager at Gulf Shore Air Conditioning. I am in my 14th year in the trades. I started off in the trenches as the administrative assistant and have worked my way up in this career field and in this company at Gulf Shore over those years to now be the marketing and IT manager. Gulf Shore Air Conditioning is my entire professional career. So I have only ever worked at Gulf Shore since graduating college. So I am dating myself. It has been 14 years since I graduated college. Um, but really, really thankful to have had the opportunity to work here at Gulf Shore Air and grow myself personally and professionally in a great environment. I am also the director of marketing for Lady Titans, which it is a organization that supports women in the trades. The trade isn't only in the truck, so it is any women in the trades. So whether you're in the office, whether you're in the field, we're happy to support you over at Lady Titans. And if you would like to know more information, you can scan the QR code there on the screen. Brittany, that's a great question. Do we have any newbies here? Anybody never attended a CSR lunch and learn yet? Wow, we got a bunch of newbies in here. Well, thank y'all for joining us. So happy to have y'all. A newbie stealing the director's account. I love it. You got to get in when you can, girl. Fantastic. We've got a bunch of new people on here. Awesome to see that. Feel free to take yourself off of mute and communicate. Totally open to that as well. So exciting events for ServiceTitan going on right now. Toolbox Live is coming up next month, which is the Powering Up with Pros with Angie Snow, and she will be there, and that's in Spring, Texas. And then you heard it here first. Nobody has this posted yet. Nobody knows this information. The next Toolbox Live Call Center Edition, which if you have never gone, which we have a bunch of newbies to our lunch and learn, so I'm guessing you probably haven't been to our Call Center Edition Toolbox Live. Will be in Miami sometime in April. Stay tuned for specific dates and details. But super, super fun event to go to the Toolbox Live Call Center Edition. I was able to help Angie and speak at a few of them in 2023 and early 2024, and it was an absolute blast to get to meet other contractors, other CSRs and dispatch call center managers, and talk about tips and tricks that we all have and use at our organizations, and what we were able to bring back and apply at our organizations was so fun to get to know everyone and meet people in person. Brittany, I love it. I should have put background music to this. Okay, so here's where we're going to get started with our dispatching lunch and learn today. Dispatcher's role as the hub. So a dispatcher is the hub of the organization in terms of coordinating all customer concerns, ensuring that customers are educated on their appointment times, getting all of the technicians to their jobs at the appropriate times when they're supposed to be, making sure that they get out the door at the correct time to get to their job, within that arrival window. So in terms of that, what are things that we as dispatchers can do to make everything better? We can ensure that we provide accurate information. So we're making sure that we're verifying address, phone number, email addresses, point of contacts for the appointments, any access codes, meaning gate codes, door codes, garage codes. I'm not sure who that was, but
I think you're good, Krista. I think somebody was just
okay.
off of me.
Okay, perfect. Um, any access codes, and then the big one for us is any pets in the home. So always asking if there's any dogs or cats or anything that we would need to alert the homeowner of, that we're certainly there before we get there. Hey, Miss Jones, do you have any pets in the home that are triggered by doorbells or knocking that you would like us for the technician to call you when they're in your driveway instead of knocking? Those types of questions to make sure that we just go the extra mile and the customer feels like they're being heard and understood and are able to prepare their other residents in the home that the dog may go off when the technician arrives. um, then in terms of managing schedules and changes, communication with your techs on if they need to be off early or certain days or are available to run 1 to 2 extra calls depending on demand. Setting the expectations with all customers and technicians help reduce friction. So one thing that we utilize with Inside ServiceTitan is schedules. And so making sure that the on-call schedule is booked out for all of our service technicians, ensuring that they all have their daily schedule, and then communicating with them and the service manager on, hey, it looks like we're getting into summer. What does our technician schedules look like now? Are we able to go ahead and set the expectation that they're available to run calls until 6 or 8 p.m. every night? And if they're not, who's going to be the one to tell us that they need to be off early certain days for little Johnny's T-ball or little Lucy's ballet recital? Just making sure that all of those expectations are there with your technicians
on the board.
really goes a long way with making sure. Did somebody have a question about where the schedules setting is at?
No, you're good.
Okay. So in terms of making sure that you're utilizing the core ServiceTitan features will go a long way with keeping you sane and your technicians and your customers all communication open and steady throughout this summer. Um, your role as a dispatcher is also to help support technicians in the field. I know that some days it may be hard to want to have their back and support them and do their work, quote unquote, but all in all, we're a team. And so we can't have a dispatcher if we don't have technicians in the field. So during debriefs, ask if there is anything you can do to help them. Confirm that they were able to get parts ordered. Or does the homeowner need a call from the office or the manager to discuss any repairs that are needed? I'm just going to throw this out there. There was multiple times that I wrapped presents for them, for their wives, for Valentine's birthdays, anniversaries, whatever. There was multiple times where I was like, go to Walmart, pick up a bag, pick up a roll of wrapping paper, get the gift, bring it back here and I'll wrap it for you. Because if mama's happy at home, you're going to be happy here. And I don't want you to forget. So, just asking about the small things. You definitely don't have to make a habit of having their personal back, but it does pay off and build some trust with them in the long run if you are able to do little things like that from here and there. Next, we've got common communication challenges and best practices. So common communication challenges would be misunderstood job details. So the job type booked wasn't set correctly. The point of contact for the appointment wasn't verified. The diagnostic fee not included in repairs wasn't communicated to the homeowner. So the technician had some friction there when trying to collect for the diagnostic fee and the repair. In terms of overcoming that, and the best practice around that would be to be clear and concise and use specific actionable language. So making sure that your call scripting is set up to include that information. Mrs. Jones, thank you so much for choosing Gulf Shore Air Conditioning to book with us today for your no cool appointment. We do charge a $95 diagnostic investment charge. Any repairs that are needed after that diagnostic time is done, the technician will bring you estimates to approve or deny repairs after we perform the diagnostic. So just making sure that your call scripting is nice and in a flow where all of those communications are done ahead of time and you reduce friction. Last minute schedule changes. We all have emergencies. Something happens, whether it's a customer emergency, a technician has to leave early, whatever it is, it's always going to happen. So the best way to overcome those is to use technology to maximize your dispatch board and messaging platforms. So one thing that we love to use is texting from the dispatch board to our technicians anytime that any updates happen in regards to their schedule.
Did she freeze or is it just me?
She froze.
Yeah.
Oh no. That is my worst nightmare as a speaker. Let me text her and see if she has a backup.
Communication channels.
Oh, there you go. Hey, Krista, you froze for a little bit.
I froze.
Yeah, for about
Oh
45
no.
seconds. Yeah. So
Okay,
you wanna,
I'll back it up.
okay, thank you.
I'll back it up. So, let's see. Did you hear everything about the misunderstood job details?
I think so.
Okay.
You were on rescheduling emergencies.
Thank you, Randy.
Okay, perfect. So in terms of rescheduling with emergencies, utilize your technology. So the big thing that we utilize at Gulf Shore is the texting from the dispatch board to our technicians and making sure that the technicians know that that is their lifeline back to the office because we have multiple people monitoring those communications on the dispatch board all the time. It's not just the service manager in the field that they need to communicate with. It's also the CSRs and dispatchers that need to know if they need to leave early, as well as for our customers in terms of emergencies. We also text them directly from ServiceTitan. Of course, with asking, and getting that customer notification turned on that they prefer communication via text message, and that's okay. The next issue that we all run into is gaps in customer expectations and technician realities. So, what that looks like is potential arrival windows and what that looks like. Booking into the after hours time frame or putting them on an urgency list. So, if we set wide arrival windows, in terms of we're going to get there between 8 and 8 today, making sure that the homeowner that you're talking to understands what that looks like. We have you on today for 8 to 8, and we'll give you a courtesy call of whatever your company sets as, you know, a good time frame. Ours is 30 minutes. We're going to give you a call when we're 30 minutes out from completing your appointment, which will give you enough time or should give you enough time to also get to your home. If you're at work, you're grocery shopping, you're running any sort of errands. So making sure that those arrival windows and the expectations with the clients are set as you're booking those appointments will reduce that. Um, so the best practices around that are active listening, confirming an understanding of both the technicians and the clients. So making sure that you're actively listening to the customer, but the customer's also actively listening back to you and able to understand and repeat what you had said about, yes, I understand that it's an 8 to 8 window, things like that, making sure that they're hearing you and understanding what you're saying. Technician frustration from unclear, incomplete information. So technicians constantly can have struggles with diagnosis. clients unavailable to discuss problems and repairs. And how we can improve that is creating a feedback loop and encouraging two-way communication with quick clarifications. So making sure if the homeowner isn't going to be available, which in our case happens very frequently where we're at, I would say 60% of our locations have homeowners that this is their second home, and they may not necessarily be physically in the home when a problem arises and we're scheduled to go out. So making sure on who is going to be the best point of contact for the technician to call when they're on their way and advise that we're en route, and then also communicate with on any repairs that are necessary once diagnostics are completed. So for us, we always ask, is texting okay? Because the technician can text you. Would you like a phone call? Would you like a call directly from the office or from the technician? And making sure that all of those key items are cleared up, especially when your clients potentially are not going to be available when the technician is there. We also frequently do thresholds. Okay, Miss Jones, I understand that you're not going to be available for the appointment today. Does the technician have your approval to complete up to $500 in repairs without you being advised on what is needed? And then with that, all we do is get that on the recorded line that they're approving to the $500 repair and have them repeat it back. Yes, I do approve on a recorded line that I agree to up to $500 in repairs after the $95 diagnostic fee, and get a credit card on file so that there is no lack of information for the technician. They know that their repair threshold is $500 and to use credit card on file for those charges. So those are just some of the best practices that I've seen be really, really impactful for our business over the last few years. Okay, tools for better communication. So your job summary notes. Does anybody know that in your job summary settings that you can have certain questions or prompts for you to discuss with your clients while they are calling in about an issue? Okay, awesome. Okay, Taylor. So what you would do is in your settings for your job types, let's just say, Taylor, what industry are you in?
We're in HVAC.
Okay, perfect. So in terms of an HVAC call, let's just say that a homeowner calls in and says that the thermostat is blank. 9 times out of 10, that means that the drain line is backed up. You can then set in your summary to auto-populate with a certain number of questions. How long ago did the thermostat go blank? Have you attempted to clear the drain line recently? Are you flushing your drain line monthly as part of your typical homeowner, cleaning duties? Questions like that your team can prompt just for those calls.
Okay,
Just for
awesome.
those job types. So one thing that we have populating is on our no cool jobs, and those will automatically go into the job summary when you edit them and add answers after, so the technician can see the exact questions that were asked and the answers that you added in. So one for us is no cool, and we have it automatically prompt our dispatchers to ask, when did you notice that there may have been an issue? Just to make sure that we can get the exact time when a system potentially faulted. So for us, a lot of our clients use the smart thermostats by American Standard Train that provide the diagnostics in them. And so then our technicians are able to use the field app and go back and see any fault codes that happened around that time. So if the homeowner says, well, it worked last night until we went to bed at like 9 o'clock, and then when we woke up this morning is when we noticed that it wasn't working any longer, then you can put that note in there for the technician to look at the fault codes in the thermostat and potentially see when that system went down overnight and what the codes were related to that. Custom fields. That's one of the really, really big ones for us that we absolutely love. On every service related job, it prompts for the CSR or the dispatcher, whoever is taking the call at our location, to ask, what is the age of the equipment? When did you change the filter last? Excuse me, how many systems are in your home? So for us, for prioritizing calls on the board, we prioritize homes that have one system and one system only over homes that have two or more systems. So if for whatever reason we're getting to 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon and we still have 6 calls left on the board and can only run two, we can quickly go through and see, okay, we've got 2 houses that have 3 systems. We've got one house that only has one system. That's priority because if nothing else, we have to get them online and cooling because that's their only system providing them comfort tonight. Whereas the homes that have multiple systems, potentially they could sleep in a different bedroom for tonight or a different level of their home to still be comfortable at night and wait for a service call for tomorrow. Do they have a preferred technician? So we have that where, what did you say, Valerie? Yeah, I love it, Valerie. We started doing that last year and it really, really helped us um, cut down and cut down the like wear and tear on our technicians not running calls until 10 o'clock at night because you have multiple systems. I'm really sorry. Like you could sleep in another bedroom if you needed to tonight. Um, but another custom field you can do is a preferred technician. Hey, Miss Jones, I know you've been with us for a long time. Do you have a preferred technician that I can flag on your account? Can't guarantee that we'll send him out today for this no cool emergency service call, but if I can, I would like to. uh, the location of the equipment. If there are multiple units in the home, what is where is that unit located that's having the issue? If it's the air handler, is it in the attic? If it's a condenser on a roof with a condominium, how many steps out from the doorway access is it? How do we get to that condenser efficiently and effectively for our technician to do their job as quickly as possible? In terms of plumbing, where's the water shutoff location? So that we can accurately document and the technician can know exactly where they need to go to either shut water off or restore water when they're ready to do some testing. Technician check-ins. Of course, you should be debriefing after every call and ensuring that that call was a success, or if there's anything that you or anyone in the office needs to do follow-up wise with the call the technician just completed. Lunchtime, I constantly was always asking the technicians, are they typically the type of guy that packs a lunch? Do they love to drive through? Are they, one that would skip lunch to run an extra call? Do they need space in their day to day to take a lunch, stop for 5 minutes, refuel themselves, and get going? A big thing for us being down here in the Destin, Florida area is working in hot attics. So making sure if I just saw in their pictures during the debrief that the unit was located in the attic, making sure to ask, are you drinking water? Are you hydrated? How are you feeling physically? So that I can make sure that they're safe to continue running calls. The next best thing to do is some real-time updates. So again, using text feature to communicate with text from the dispatch board, texting clients updates if there was an accident and now the technician is running behind. We use templates in Google Docs so that our team can just quickly copy and paste text messages in there to send off one-off. Hey, Miss Jones, and that part would be blank. Just wanted to let you know we still have you on the schedule for today. However, the technician has fallen, behind on his previously booked jobs. We still will get to you today. It just may be later than the original arrival window. Is that okay with you? Is that still, or does that cause a problem? Please text us back and let us know so that they can easily communicate back with the office, texting, and we can either reschedule if needed or pivot on what we need to do. Okay, how to reduce stress and handle stress and stay cool. Um, I have felt like this man far too many times to count in this industry. And I don't want you to get there. So there is always prioritizing task. What is urgent versus important? And making sure that you use a quadrant chart to understand the difference between the two and how to best schedule your time each and every day to get done what needs to get done and what needs attention now. I am so big on pausing and assessing and then going forward with whatever we need to do. So take 10 seconds to breathe, think it through, act like you're the customer. What would you want? How would you want to be treated? And then communicate to keep everyone informed, whether that's communicating with all other office staff, communicating with technicians in the field, or communicating back with any clients that need updates. And then always, when and if you have to, de-escalate the situation. So use calm, neutral language with upset clients or technicians. In the summertime, everyone is always hot and bothered, literally hot and bothered. So de-escalate. Okay, so how can we strengthen office and field relationships? Because that is the core to how the wheel turns in these industries with CSRs, dispatchers, and technicians in the field. So let's celebrate some wins. Did the technicians in the field meet a daily goal? Is that set up in your ServiceTitan account so that the technicians have daily goals that they have to meet? Did they meet it? Let's celebrate it. Shoot it out on the dispatch board. James did it. James reached his goal. James, whatever that goal is. Did they convert a membership? Did they go to someone
I
that
can
isn't
see anything
currently
from the file
on?
again. Thing with you.
Did they convert a membership? Did they educate a client on an accessory or cross trade service? And we were able to get some other work out of this service call or maintenance. Building trust is definitely the best way to go. So always be there. Answer promptly, or at minimum, call them back as soon as you're available. Then aid in working through issues with them. So always help your technicians in whatever issue they're having if you're capable. If not, our big saying at our office is pass the monkey, don't feed it. So pass it along. If it needs to go to a manager and be dealt by a manager, pass the monkey. Hey, James, I understand you're having a really tough day today in the field. I really feel like I need to loop in Ralph on this or whoever. Be transparent about expectations and client communications. So make sure if a client is a difficult client that you're communicating with that with the technician. Hey, Miss Jones, she's a tough broad. She's a little bit upset. She's hot and bothered. We were just out there 4 months ago for her maintenance, and she feels like this is related to something that we did. Make sure that you're completely transparent with any communication that you've had with the clients. And then feedback. Always ask for technician feedback. What helps them perform better? What do they want to know from a client before arrival? Excuse me, what jobs do they struggle with? And then struggles with ServiceTitan and how to help. So both of my CSRs and dispatchers are briefly trained on how to work them through the ServiceTitan mobile app so that if for whatever reason I'm not available, the service manager isn't available, they're capable of walking them through just minor little hiccups that they may have. Okay, so this quote has always stuck with me for a long, long time. I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you make them feel. And that goes to our coworkers and to our clients as well. So always do what you can to go the little extra mile and make someone feel good today. If nothing else, just make someone feel good. Okay, and now I'm going to end the recording and we can work through some scenarios. How does that sound?